What's going on, everybody? Jason here, and today I've got this beautiful 2021 Jeep Gladiator Mojave edition. Starting things off in the front, you can tell a little bit of a difference compared to a normal Gladiator. On the Mojaves, you've got these orange tow hooks on both sides and on the rear. In terms of the bumper, it's a normal bumper with the fog lights on both sides, and then of course your granite inserts which go along there, and then your grille is a Mopar satin black grille, and then the inserts on this are fully black. This one has the regular halogen lights, but you can get the upgraded LED lighting package, of course. And another distinctive feature with the Mojaves is the nice looking hood scoop. Also on the Mojaves, just like the Rubicons, the Mojaves get their own special lettering with the orange outlining, which looks very nice and unique. And of course, you get your 4x4 desert rated badging as well, and then the Jeep Gladiator badging in orange as well. On this particular one, you do have the body colored Fender Flares. Typically they will be black. So with the Jeep lineup, the Mojave edition is actually the first desert rated Jeep vehicle. As for the wheels on the Mojaves, you get the standard 17-inch blacked out wheels. This is the standard option. You can also get kind of like a machined aluminum finish, which are also 17-inch, and they're wrapped in the 33-inch all-terrain tires. I'm not sure if you can see, but with the Gladiators, especially the Mojaves, since they're more of like a desert vehicle, you get the fog shocks, which of course give you impressive performance in the desert. Also on the Mojaves, you get reinforced frames, axles, enhanced suspension, also a 1-inch front lift. It's hard to notice, but there is a 1-inch front lift, obviously for that desert terrain. In terms of the hardtop, the standard that you get with this is the soft top, but you can get an optional black top, which this has, or the body color. Also, as an added option, what you can get are the satin black side steps, which also look really nice. Also, this beauty is painted in the beautiful stain gray, which I think looks really nice with the orange accents for the Mojave. Moving over to the rear of the Mojave, you get regular tail lights. If you get the LED package, of course, you get the LED lighting. You get more orange tow hooks at the back. You've also got a receiver, and then of course your towing plugs if you do need to access those. Also at the back, you get the Jeep lettering with the orange outlining, obviously symbolizing that it's a Mojave. Right underneath, you've got your backup camera, and then of course your brake light at the back with the tailgate release. Opening up the tailgate, it is a soft opening. You've got your spray and bed liner, and just like the Ram trucks, you do have 4 hooks on both sides to tie down any of your cargo, and then of course your LED bed lighting, and then you get the optional tonneau cover if you do need it. So with the Jeep Gladiator Mojave edition, you can tow about 6,000 pounds, obviously if it's equipped to the right standard, and then your payload capacity is about 1,200 pounds. Now, if you choose to go with the manual transmission, you can only tow about 4,500 pounds, and this does have a 4.10 axle ratio, which you can only get on the Mojaves and of course the Gladiator Rubicons. And the Mojave does have keyless entry, so if you press this, it will lock the Jeep, and then if you have the key with you, right underneath, it'll unlock it. As for the key, it's a traditional Jeep key. As you can see, you got your lock, unlock, remote start, panic button, and then Jeep written on the back. If you want to hear what this desert monster sounds like, you double tap, give it a second, and it comes to life, ready to take on the desert trails. As for the engine capacity, on the Mojave editions, you can only get the V6 3.6 liter Pentastar Jeep engine. Of course, you can't get like the Eco Diesel on these. You're only stuck with this, either automatic or in manual transmission. Now, in terms of how much power this produces, you'll be getting 285 horsepower with 260 foot-pound of torque. And of course, that hood scoop is just for show. It is not functional. I don't know if it's just me, but this actually feels like the hood actually feels very heavy. I'm not sure, maybe it's because of the hood scoop added extra metal and weight, but just be careful. It's a little heavy than a normal, Jeep that does not have that scoop. Coming to the rear of the Mojave, it's just like any other, Jeep or anything like that, but something unique. Of course, you got the black all around with the distinctive orange stitching, which looks absolutely beautiful in my opinion. And these seats are in the beautiful steel gray, and this is of course fully leather seats. You can either get steel gray all leather, or black seats which are all leather, or you can stick with the standard cloth black seats. Totally up to you, but this looks way better, especially with the orange stitching that goes everywhere. And of course, in the center handrest at the back, you've got space for 2 cup holders. On these ones, because they're a Gladiator, you also get a rear sliding window. It is not power sliding, it is manual sliding, but still, hey, it's nice to have, especially when you're going out in the desert. Also, what I like on these is this little, I guess you could say, design pattern, and with the straps in between behind both of the driver and passenger seats, looks really, really nice. And of course, in the center at the back, you've got your window controls for the rear, USB ports, and then 115 volt plug, and then 2 more cup holders right there. Also, as an added, I guess you can say, option that you can put on is the Mopar headliner that goes all the way through here, and then you can see it in the front right there and right over there. Also, with the rear seats on both sides, you can actually flip them up, and you have a little bit of room on, you know, both sides to put a little bit of things underneath. Moving over to the front driver's side, again, very, very similar to the rear door, all black with the orange stitching, and of course you've got a little bit of netting to put kind of like your paperwork or very small things in there. You've got your door controls, your window controls, and all of that. Over at the front is where you really get to see like the bits and pieces of orange that go all around the vehicle. Of course, on the front driver and passenger seats, you've got orange stitching, of course, in the steel gray seats, and of course Mojave stitched right in, which I think looks absolutely beautiful. Both seats are manual adjustable, and I like how they did even orange stitching on the strap here as well. Really nice little touch that they did. Also, as an added option that you can get on from the factory are these plastic door sills that say Gladiator. Typically you will not get these. Over at the bottom, nothing really too fancy, just your pedal layout, and that's pretty much it at the bottom. Right up here, you've got your lighting control, and then your dimmers, and of course your manual adjustable steering wheel. Entering the Mojave, you're gonna see bits and pieces, like I mentioned, of orange, which I think look really, really nice. Like, for example, you've got orange bezeling around all of the front vents, and of course your orange stitching that goes all the way across, which looks really, really nice. And even on the steering wheel, it's fully blacked out with, of course, kind of like a silver piece right there and around the bezeling of the buttons, and then of course you've got orange stitching that goes all the way around, which looks really, really cool. And in the center, you can't forget, you've got your Jeep logo right there. You've got controls for your center cluster, Bluetooth controls, and then your cruise control settings right there. To the left of the steering wheel, you've got controls for your high beams and indicators, and to the right you've got control for your windshield wipers and all of that. And in the center, it's a very traditional setup as to any other Jeep. You've got your gear selector right there, of course, and then your center section here, which you can kind of flick through different options, and you can flick through your speed, your vehicle information, your off-roading information, fuel economy information, your trip info, stop and start, audio information, messages, screen setup, and then back to your speed. And of course you do have a push button to start, why not? Over on the center handrest, it is fully leather with, of course, orange stitching. If you open up your first section here, you've got a little bit of storage to put whatever you need to, and then you've got your tools to take off the doors and all of that good stuff. You go ahead and close that, and then you open up the main section. You've got a decent amount of room in here with a USB port. Right in front of that, just like any other Jeep, you've got room for your cup holders. You've got a leather wrapped e-brake with orange stitching, your off-roading selection with, of course, leather and stitching, and then your gear selector here with more leather and stitching. Now, typically your axle lockers and then your off-road plus would come with a Rubicon, but because this is a desert monster, you also get it with this. The only thing that this is missing is your sway bar disconnect, but that is an option that you can get on this. Now, if you're not familiar with the off-road plus option, if you have your vehicle or your Jeep actually in 4 high, this is better for higher speeds and, you know, sand performance if you're doing all of that. And of course, if you have off-road plus on and you're in 4 low, that's more for your low speed rock crawling. And if this one did have the sway bar disconnect, that can be done in either 4 low or 4 high, and that pretty much allows your front suspension to travel up to an additional 30%. And then if you forget to, you know, reconnect it, don't worry, it reconnects automatically if you're going above 28 kilometers, I believe. and that's only, like I mentioned, standard in the Rubicons. On the Mojave, you can get it as an extra option. If we go right above that, you've got your 12-volt adapter right here, your window controls, and then more media, USB ports Type-C, and then your aux cable right there. Right above that, you've got your traditional heating and cooling buttons right here. You've got on this heated seats, heated steering wheel, both passenger and then driver as well. And then you've also got your auto stop start button right there. And on the Gladiator Mojaves, the 7-inch screen, the touchscreen, is actually standard. You can upgrade to the 8.4-inch touchscreen, and that's totally up to you whether you want to spend money on upgrading the, you know, sound system or the touchscreen, or if you'd rather get, like this customer did, the side steps and all of that, and the tonneau cover. And just like any other 8.4-inch or 7-inch touchscreen in a Jeep, it's very traditional here. You've got your radio here, media, climate, which you can use these or these buttons down here. You've got your apps right here, and then your controls, because this does have heated seats and all of that, so you can actually just go through there and do all of that. And of course, your backup camera, you can zoom in and you can zoom out however you feel. And coming to the driver's side, you can see again the beautiful steel gray seats with the Mojave stitched in. And right here you've got, you know, your normal hand bar right here. And then I like how they did this finish. It's a nice little texture, kind of like a dark aluminum gray metallic feel, but it's a very textured feeling, which is really, really nice. You've got a little bit of room in your glove department to put some small stuff. And here is the window stickers for the 2021 Gladiator Mojave. You can see it's got a ton of options. You can see the standard ones right along here, and then your optional equipment right here. It's got a ton of aftermarket stuff on here from the factory. And that's it for this amazing 2021 Jeep Gladiator Mojave edition. Let me know in the comments down below if you love it or if you hate it.